So we had the SID Display week, and hi. So who are you?
Hi, I'm Radu Rate, the CTO at Aries Materials.
Hi.
I'm David Arriaga, I'm the CEO of Aries Materials.
So what do you do at Aries Materials?
So we develop optical films for flexible displays. That's at the core of what we do at our lab, and we are happy to be here at SID to promote our new products.
So you can show what kind of films?
Yeah. So like David was saying, we make optically isotropic, high clarity films for display applications. One easy way to show this is most of the optical films that people are using on the market today are like this polyester sheet, right? Where you see a high degree of dependence on the angle of the sheet to the transmission through cross polarizers. All of our materials are highly transparent, just like the polyester sheets, but when you put them in between the cross polarizer, you can't see any dependence on the angle of orientation for any transmission through these cross polarizers. That's a fancy way of saying that our materials are very homogeneous. They're high light transmission, low haze, low yellowness, and very optically isotropic.
So which part of this is yours?
Yeah, so we make these films. This is just one single variety of our material, the Pilux MF film that you see here. This is a higher temperature resistant material. The Pilux MF that you see here is a material that we use as a substrate for a whole host of different applications, whether it's color filter or thin film transistor substrates for low temperature metal oxides. We use this material in high temperature applications where the material can be on a carrier substrate.
So you're targeting, let's say, the smartphones market and stuff like that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different applications, primarily mobile displays, different materials in the front plane or in the layers above the emissive portion of the display require a high degree of optical transmission so that you can see the brightest, sharpest image that you get out of your display.
And you have a better layer than anybody else?
Yeah, we're basically trying to convince everyone that the optical transparency and other properties of the material, along with the way that we can tune all of the mechanical properties of the film, will outperform any of the other optical films that they can choose today.
So this was just to demonstrate, or
yeah,
this
is just to demonstrate that we have a zero birefringence film. What that means is that if you were, like I said, putting it in between cross polarizers, you shouldn't see anything, right, between two orthogonal polarizers. But polyester is very, very birefringent. And so when you turn it in between these cross polarizers, you can see light bleeds through the film. Our films, there is no light bleed through, independent of the angle that you are turning the film, which means that the bulk of this material, the molecular structure of this material, is very homogeneous.
How do you do that?
Well, it's the magic secret sauce of Aries Materials. We find ways to convert polysulfide resins or liquid materials into these optical films.
And this is another one, the W?
Yeah, the Pilux W is our tough optically clear adhesive. It's a resin and film material that we use as an adhesive between, for example, a cover lens and the rest of the display module or the touch sensor. It serves to absorb shock from point impacts onto the display itself.
The stuff that you do, does it make it easier to finish to ship finished product?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Because otherwise they have to line it perfectly and everything. And
right.
You just put it on and it works.
Yeah, you put it on and it works. And we're proofing that right now with big display manufacturers in Asia to show that these films are outcompeting all of the rest of the optical films that they have available to them.
It makes it easier, the assembly at the manufacturing, right?
Yeah, we can definitely work with the
manufacturer.
manufacturer.
Save them a few dollars on the bum.
Well,
maybe?
We could definitely talk about pricing on a case-by-case basis.
And what's the H?
The H material. So this is our lower cost, high volume, transparent material. This is similar to the Pilux MF material we talked about earlier, highly optically transparent and low birefringence, but with a much higher glass transition temperature, meaning that it can be used as a stiff film standalone for much higher temperatures.
And so this explains something about what you do?
Yeah, and this is the last product offering. This is actually, we won the Best in Show Award last year, 2018 at SID, for our temporary bonding adhesive. for flexible displays. Essentially, it's a layer that goes in between the mother glass panel and the polyimide flexible substrate. And then instead of having the laser come back and remove the polyimide from the glass panel after the flexible display has been manufactured, you can just peel off the flexible substrate and any electronics on top using our Easybond technology.
So you got best in show for that last year. And so what does that mean? You were shipping in huge quantities already?
We're definitely trialing in huge quantities right now. So we're still going through the specification process. The major display manufacturers take a little time to say whether or not they can put all of your materials on their line. But right now, a lot of the big names in the display manufacturing world are testing this for their substrate removal.
And what else do you do here, the SID Display Week?
Yeah.
Because you think it's a pretty cool show, it's a cool organization?
Yeah. No, that's a great question. And besides, the Aries related things, SID as a whole is promoting a brand new concept called the Young Engineer Spotlight. So this is a new effort started in 2019 where the Society for Information Display is showcasing the young talent that we have in the industry from big name companies that just manufacture displays or provide components to the display industry. This Young Engineer Spotlight serves to showcase some of the new engineers, what they're doing, what they're really excited about in terms of new technology on the market, and hopefully we can show future engineers, those who are students now or just trying to get their foot in the door in this field, how to really get a good job.
So the Young Engineer Spotlight.
Yeah.
And what do you do with that?
So I'm actually currently vice chair of the marketing committee. I'm responsible for interviewing everybody and making sure that they provide good quality information for the future engineers who are looking to get into the display world.
So it's actually great to be part of the SID Display Week. It's a good way to get connected with the whole industry?
Absolutely. I think it's by far the most important networking event that anybody in the display industry could go to today. The Display Week event brings people from East Asia, from Europe, from the world as a whole. I think the tagline says it best. It's where the world's display industry meets.